Welcome back to K-BUZZPOP, the place where we dive deep into the stories behind your favorite stars, the smiles you see on stage, and the emotions they sometimes try so hard to hide. Today's story is one that left fans emotional, reflective, and yes, in tears. Because when Junho finally broke his silence about his secret life and hidden pain, no one was truly prepared for how honest he would be. If you followed Junho for years, from his intense idol days in 2PM to his powerful acting transformation in dramas like The Red Sleeve, you've probably admired his discipline, his charisma, and that quiet strength in his eyes. But have you ever wondered what was happening behind that calm expression? Recently, during a fan event that was meant to be lighthearted and celebratory, the atmosphere shifted when Junho paused before answering a simple question. What was the hardest time in your life? At first, he smiled, that familiar soft smile, but fans noticed his eyes glistening under the lights. He admitted that there were years when he felt completely alone, even while standing in front of thousands of screaming fans. Can you imagine that? Being surrounded by love, yet feeling isolated inside? Junho revealed that during his busiest years as an idol, he carried immense pressure. As a member of 2PM, expectations were sky high. Performances had to be flawless. Injuries were hidden. Exhaustion was ignored. He shared that there were nights when he couldn't sleep, replaying mistakes in his mind, worrying about whether he was good enough. And here's the part that broke fans' hearts. He said he learned to hide his pain because he didn't want to worry anyone. I thought being strong meant staying silent, he confessed. Let that sink in. How many times have we mistaken silence for strength? He spoke about the emotional toll of constant scrutiny, how every weight fluctuation, every facial expression, every rumor felt magnified. There were moments he questioned whether people loved the real him or just the image carefully presented on screen. During his transition into acting, the pressure didn't disappear. It changed form. When he was cast in The Red Sleeve, he felt enormous responsibility. The role of Yisan required emotional depth and historical weight. Junho admitted he feared disappointing both viewers and his own members. But what fans didn't know was that behind the scenes he was dealing with deep self-doubt. He worried that critics would dismiss him as just another idol actor. He trained relentlessly, sometimes pushing himself to the brink physically and mentally. Have you ever worked so hard to prove yourself that you forgot to breathe? Junho said there were days when he would sit alone after filming, staring at the script, wondering if he deserved the praise he was beginning to receive. Even when The Red Sleeve became a massive success and his performance earned critical acclaim, he struggled internally to accept that he had truly grown. And then he shared something even more personal. He talked about the loneliness that came with fame, the difficulty of trusting new people, the fear that friendships could be misunderstood, the way rumors about his secret life often spiraled online, dating speculation, personality assumptions, narratives created without his voice. I wanted to live quietly sometimes, he admitted, but my quiet life became a mystery people tried to solve. Fans listening that day began crying, not because of scandal, not because of drama, but because they finally saw the vulnerable human behind the polished image. He clarified that his secret life wasn't some shocking revelation. It was simply the parts of himself he kept protected. The nights he spent composing music alone, the therapy sessions he once hesitated to attend, but eventually found comfort in, the moments of doubt he never posted about. Yes, he mentioned therapy. And when he did, applause filled the venue. Junho said seeking help didn't make him weak, it made him stronger. He realized that pretending everything was fine was far more exhausting than admitting he needed support. Let's pause here, K-BUZZPOP family. How powerful is it when someone you admire openly talks about mental health? In an industry that often prioritizes perfection, his honesty felt revolutionary. He also spoke about his military service period, a time many fans thought of as simply a hiatus. For him, it was complicated. On one hand, it offered structure and anonymity. On the other, it forced him to confront who he was without the stage. He shared that there were nights during service when he lay awake wondering whether fans would still be there when he returned, whether the industry would move on without him, whether he would still belong. And yet, when he was discharged, thousands welcomed him back. He said seeing that unwavering support made him cry privately. But here's the part that truly shattered hearts. Junho confessed that despite the awards, the success, the standing ovations, there were moments he felt undeserving of happiness. He had internalized the belief that he must constantly work to earn love, that rest was indulgent. Fans shouted, "You deserve it," during the event. He smiled through tears. He explained that his hidden pain wasn't a single dramatic event. It was cumulative. Years of small pressures, unspoken fears, and the habit of carrying burdens alone. And then he said something that felt like it was meant for everyone watching. "If you are hurting silently, please don't wait as long as I did to speak." The venue went completely quiet. Isn't it ironic? The man known for his composed, almost reserved aura was now teaching thousands about vulnerability. Junho also addressed the rumors that he keeps his relationships hidden because of image control. He gently laughed and said that privacy is not secrecy, it's protection. He wants to love freely one day, without it becoming a spectacle. He wants to have a life that belongs to him, not to headlines. That maturity, that boundary, it moved fans deeply. For years, some speculated about his mysterious personality, but hearing him articulate his reasons reframed everything. He isn't distant, he's careful, he's thoughtful. He's someone who has learned that not everything needs to be consumed publicly. He even reflected on how he used to measure his worth by achievements, album sales, ratings, awards. But now, he measures it by peace, by whether he can sleep without anxiety, by whether he can look in the mirror and recognize himself. That evolution is powerful, and maybe that's why fans felt such a deep emotional response. It wasn't about a shocking confession, it was about growth. Junho ended his speech by thanking fans for giving him time to mature, time to stumble, time to find himself. He admitted he once feared showing weakness would cause people to leave. Instead, showing vulnerability made them stay even stronger. So now I want to ask you, K-BUZZPOP viewers, did hearing Junho's honesty change the way you see him? Do you think idols should feel more freedom to speak openly about mental health, personal struggles? For many fans, this moment wasn't just about Lee Junho, it was about themselves. Seeing someone successful admit to hidden pain validated their own feelings. Social media flooded with messages, "We're proud of you. Thank you for speaking. You're not alone anymore." And perhaps that's the most beautiful part of this story. The hidden pain he carried alone for years became a bridge connecting him more deeply with fans. In the end, Junho didn't reveal a scandal. He revealed humanity. He showed that strength isn't silent suffering, it's choosing to speak. And as we close today's emotional story on K-BUZZPOP, remember this: the brightest smiles can hide the heaviest hearts. But when someone brave enough opens up, it gives others permission to do the same. If this story touched you, comment below with a chime to send love to Lee Junho. Share your thoughts. What moment moved you most? And if you're going through something silently, let this be your sign to talk to someone you trust. Because just like Junho learned, you don't have to carry it alone. See you in the next story, K-BUZZPOP family.